Hey guys, I want to talk about compulsive movement and how to be able to rest during recovery and why it's important. So, let me start off. I took really long until I could finally set myself free from this thinking and behaving. I think in total I took at least 1.5 years in order to stop these urges to move. Like, whenever I would have to go somewhere, I wanted to walk there or in some way move my body in order to get there instead of like other people just taking the metro. I always had to find like ways in order to move more, etc. And until I finally got rid of it completely, it took a long time. And oftentimes we kind of like fall into the trap of us thinking, oh no, we're not doing it to burn calories. Like, I know that it doesn't, like, I'm eating so much, it doesn't matter whether I'm walking 20 minutes more or less. I'm just doing it because I like being active. I think it's something healthy for me, etc. But in the end, what I learned from myself is that you need some, I would say, like 3 to ideally 6 to 12 months of really doing the complete opposite of how you were like in your ED, in order to like really prove to yourself that it's not necessary to behave in that way. So let me make that more clear. In your ED, you search every excuse in order to move, in order to eat as little as possible. Like, you always try to move as much in order to burn as much calories and to eat as little in order to consume as little calories. Now, in your recovery, you should act the complete opposite. First of all, because your body really needs it, and second of all, I think it's super, like, it's probably the only way you will really get over your ED if you completely act against any ED rule you ever had. So for me, I really had to start forcing myself. First of all, it started with really resisting to do any exercise or any walks. I had to tell myself, like, no, right now I'm in recovery and going on a walk is not the best idea. So I would just force myself to not go on any walks. And then it was only the first step. The next step was like to, I don't know, what can I take as an example? Like, for example, if I had to go to the city center, I just told myself, girl, today I'm actually tired. I'm not gonna walk there, I'm gonna take the metro. Or even if I wasn't tired, I was just like, you need to do the opposite of what your ED would be happy if you would do it. So you take the metro anyway, even though you had energy. You know what I mean? So you start doing things that go against your ED voice. That is one part of it. And then, of course, your body, it simply wants to rest. And you don't really feel too tired. You're like, no, I'm feeling good after doing exercise. But trust me, you give yourself 1 week of rest and you will not want to move again. Like, you will simply stop having this urge to move because your body kind of like realizes that it's now in a safe place and it's able to rest. So yeah, and then you simply won't want to move anymore, and that's perfect because you shouldn't anyway. And it will, I think, for me, it honestly took around 1 year until I started to get really the urge to move again. And that sounds very extreme. Of course, I was moving before that, but I'm just saying, your body needs a lot of rest, and at some point you will get the urge to move again, like to move a lot again, but not in the first months. And if you're telling me, I know that's probably what a few of you are thinking, like, no, but if I go on a walk or if I go on a run or whatever, afterwards I always feel great. Yes, but trust me, even though you won't believe it now, you give yourself 1 or 2 weeks with full unrest. And with full unrest, I mean as little movement as possible, like only the absolute necessary amount of movement. You will be tired and you will not want to move anymore. So yeah, and that will last for some time. But yeah, so again, the only tip I can give you to break out of this cycle is that you break it. You know exactly what to do. You know that not moving is what is required in recovery. And I can explain you why, maybe to motivate you. So according to this migration theory, what happened in your ED was that your body believed that you're migrating. In migration, you move a lot and you eat little in order to get us to your goal destination as quickly as possible. And recovery is like getting to your goal destination and just being able to feed yourself and get back energy. And once you're at your goal destination, there is no movement required anymore, or very little. And so if you keep on moving while also eating a lot, your body will not believe you that you actually arrived at your goal destination, so it won't feel recovered. So what do you have to do? In order to really, really recover, you have to stop movement and eat as much as possible. You need to combine both of these aspects so that your body really feels like it's arrived at a safe place and it doesn't have to migrate anymore and there is no restriction anymore. So yeah, I hope that would help a little bit. And yes, 2 of my family members, I mean, I live with my brother and my mother, they're both tested positively for COVID, and I'm not yet, and I'm really scared that I will be, because I don't want to sit in quarantine, but it's probably gonna happen, so let's see.